All right, so let's talk about Justice League. So he says these are quotes from Snyder himself. When the movie came out, understand that Chris Terrio and I finished the script to Justice League before Batman vs. Superman came out. Yeah, it shows. Some people didn't like that movie. A vocal minority. Yeah, all right, dude. Yeah, dude, that was literally everyone. Says it's a long story, but he says the truth is the nightmare sequence in was that in Batman vs. Superman? I don't remember. The truth is that the nightmare sequence in the movie was always my idea. That all of that would eventually be explained. Obviously, in the distant future, where Darkseid has taken over the Earth, and a few members of the Justice League that had survived the world were fighting. He talks about how Superman had succumbed to the anti-life equation because
Darkseid took over Earth, and
he used a boom tube to go into the Batcave and killed Lois Lane, thus fucking breaking Superman once and for all. The Man of Steel falls from grace. Would have been led to Batman, Flash, and a broken cyborg attempting to send the fastest man alive back in time to warn Bruce that what was to come. That explains that the Cape Crusader saw the Cape Crusader inside the Batcave when Barry Allen told him Lois is the key. They had an after credit scene, the Justice League teaser that was in the movie apparently, I guess, where Wonder Woman says, it's the line where Bruce says, I was right here when Barry Allen came to me and he said Lois Lane is the key. And she says, she is to Superman. Every heart has one. What? That writing.
That's bad.
That is bad writing. All right. Yeah, so they had the time traveling thing. Steppenwolf was never supposed to be in Justice League. Instead, it was supposed to be Darkseid that was like wrecking shit. And then originally Superman isn't supposed to come back and save the day, but it was supposed to be Green Lantern, which would have been super weird because we wouldn't have had any meeting of Green Lantern when he showed up, which would have fucking made no sense.
Right.
Then the entire Earth is desecrated and destroyed
by Darkseid.
And then in the sequel, I guess that's the end of the sequel, and then the Justice League fights alongside the Green Lantern Corps, and they eventually beat Darkseid, do some sort of time travel shit, and fix everything.
So where's Superman?
I don't know.
Yo, his fascination with like really wanting to make Superman like an objectivist is baffling to me.
It's literally the exact opposite of Superman.
Right.
He's an interventionist.
Right.
Yeah.
Like Zack Snyder Superman doesn't care about anybody but himself.
Yeah. Like the idea.
He's got his own moral code as long as it aligns with his wants and desires. Like,
well, some people have been equating that, like his view of that, to a very like right wing view.
I mean, isn't that essentially what objectivism is? You look out for yourself.
Yeah, and it's like it's a hyper libertarian view, or libertarianism, really.
Yeah. So, all right, yo.
I find that really funny. Like I don't mind. You don't fundamentally get the character.
I don't mind different takes on characters, but that's like what ifs and offshoots and hollowed out stuff. Like if you're trying to build a universe, if you're trying to,
do that in like an Injustice movie.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, that's literally what Injustice is.
Yeah, that's exactly what Injustice Superman is.
But that's what he wanted to make. It's clear that he wanted which by the way would have actually been interesting had they build all, like, just really super build the DCEU and make it work, right? And it's let's say with Man of Steel, let's say he hadn't done it, or you could have even started with Man of Steel, by the way, right? Like in the second movie, he kind of gets his gears back, and he's the Superman we know, and everything moves forward, and it works.
That's Shazam what was doing.
That's what I thought,
because that's kind of what the first part of Man of Steel was, right?
Right.
Like that's exactly what Pa Kent was telling him, right?
Like, you don't have to care.
I mean, and Superman's like, well, what am I supposed to do? Let him drown?
Yeah, I mean
You look out for you, bruh. Like, you know,
don't let the government tell you what to do. Like, wait, what? That's weird, right? So, like, if all of that was working, right, and Wonder Woman and Shazam and all this other shit, you had a Batman movie, all that stuff was connected and working, then it would actually be interesting to have a storyline where it's like an alternate universe or something like that. Something happens and things get flipped. And then it's like this injustice. They just do like one injustice story.
Yeah.
Like, that would be kind of interesting.
A Superman gets affected by red kryptonite and flips the fuck out and becomes a libertarian.
Yep.
Right.
That's all you gotta do.
Right, but like, it should be in a different universe, so he could just wreck shop in that universe. It doesn't affect the regular, normal world, right?
I mean,
or it does.
Even if it did, you know, they don't know what it is. Batman figures out, oh, it's red kryptonite. Wonder Woman's the only person strong enough to get close to Superman to get rid of, you know, the kryptonite laced cape or whatever bullshit, right? Yeah. And now he's back to normal. I mean, you can still get your fucking libertarian rocks off.
Right. You fundamentally don't get the character. Like, that's the problem. And look, I said this on Twitter, and I wish it had generated a little bit more of a response. But can we now admit, I mean, the reviews seem to be pretty solid, even above solid for Shazam. And I have, again, people that I know and trust have seen it and really like it. But can we all admit now, it wasn't that DC couldn't do this. Yeah. And it wasn't the characters and those bullshit articles where, I just don't think they lend to it connecting. No. Zack Snyder was the problem. Yeah. His vision for that universe was the problem.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hold this to DC fans too. That bullshit of, it just needs to, it can be darker and all, and it could be darker. That's fine. I never really had a problem with it being darker. But they're like, I don't want it light and silly like the MCU movies. You motherfuckers just gave Aquaman $1 billion because it felt, not exactly, but it felt more MCU-ish than it did like all the other DC movies.
Because it was light and silly.
It light and saturation fun to it.
Right. So like the literal idea of like, this can't be done and all this other stuff is bullshit. And what drives me crazy is they're now figuring that out. They're seeing success after success after success, but now they've torpedoed the whole fucking universe.
Yeah.
They've torpedoed it. Like, instead of going, maybe these things aren't working, why don't we fix it? No, but blow it up. Just blow it up. But you're eventually going to have to put it back together. Because look, if Matt Reeves pulls off this Batman movie and it's good, people are immediately going to be like, when are we getting a Justice League movie? Because right now everything is still separate, right? Mm-hmm. If Wonder Woman 2 works, which I'm sure it will, if it's a sequel or whatever the fuck, whatever they're doing over there. But that working, Aquaman working, Shazam seemingly works. Already people are like, I can't wait to see Shazam in Justice League 2. Is that going to happen? I don't know.
They had a really unique opportunity, Warner's did with this, because you could have like those characters, the core, the Seven, Unite the League, like they're all so
Unite the Seven. What happened to that?
They're all so very different from one another that they're different movies. Their movies could be very, very different, right?
Yeah.
And then seeing that
even more so than the Marvel movies, actually.
Yeah, because if there's one complaint that everybody has with the Marvel movies is that they kind of feel a little samey, right? Mm-hmm. They kind of hit the same beats because they got a formula. They know,
what works.
They have that one trick and they put it in different locations, right?
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Look, that's what they do.
Lady Space Cop, American Flag Cop, the Tech Cop.
Exactly.
I mean, they're all the same.
Exactly. But you could have your dude bro Aquaman, who in subsequent viewings is not as bad as I originally. Some of that dialogue still gets.
Some of that dialogue
is not good.
But it's not as bad as
like Dude Bro Aquaman, and then you've got
Dude Bro Aquaman, boy man superhero.
Yeah.
Batman. You can still have your dark brooding Batman.
That's what I never understand. Why did you focus the dark shit on everything else? You have a character who's super dark.
And you got badass with a heart of gold Wonder Woman. And you could literally, even if you wanted to make your weird fucking, objectivist Superman, you could. But bring all those together would have made a really interesting movie.
Yeah.
With really interesting dynamics between everyone.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
You add
some of the secondary Justice League characters. Like, imagine what they could have done with like a Martian Manhunter movie. You could have gone super dark with Martian Manhunter.
Yeah, his whole fucking planet just destroyed, man. He hates. Come on, man.
There are, and the thing is, I'm wondering now that Sujihara is leaving or is gone. I think he's leaving. I'm wondering if somebody picks up, like, notices, like, oh, it's working now. Right. It's working now. Shazam is working. Like you said, you've got Shazam. This is the time. Okay, shit is working. Cool. Everybody's really happy. Cool. Got a couple wins in a row. Great. Things are awesome. This is the time that you do Green Lantern. Yeah. Bring Green Lantern in, because now look, you're getting ready to see Marvel go 100% cosmic. This can now work. Yeah. It has been proven. Get a good fucking lead. Should have been Chris Pine a number of years ago, but whatever. Oh. But that ship has sailed. Get a good lead for that and make a story that you give a shit about. Make a story you give a shit. If you're going to do the Green Lantern Corps, then do it. Fucking stop waiting on all this bullshit and do the damn stories. But make them great. Make them fun. Look, Aquaman, it's got plenty of problems, but god damn it, was it not fun. It was fun. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like, again, some of that dialogue, I'm like, calm down.
I could have just peed on it.
I'm like, he should have had just an empty corpse can to smash against his head at any given time. But it was fucking fun. It was fun. So Snyder's vision is the problem. It's not even Snyder as a director. It is his vision for that universe that was the problem. They tried to make Snyder, who is a visual director, they tried to make him a Kevin Feige. He isn't.
He's not.
He's just not. And that's not a slam on him. Like, stop letting him co-write shit. Stop letting him be the architect for that universe. Fine. I don't understand how you don't have Jeff Johns as the fucking architect of that universe. Yeah. How? You're putting him in all these roles. Architect. That is your job. Yeah. You, Kevin Feige, this shit, and then let's get moving. Let's make this money. If Aquaman can make $1 billion, a Flash movie can make $1 billion. If a Flash movie can make $1 billion, Wonder Woman 2 can crack $1 billion. No fucking problem. No problem. And honestly, I think Wonder Woman didn't crack $1 billion just because of all the shit that came before
That's basically it.
That's the reason.
You know, I still haven't seen Justice League. I still haven't seen Batman versus Superman.
Slow down. Look, take your time. Yeah. Take your time.
I wasn't a huge fan of the Nolan Batman films. Right. I respect them for what they are. I think they are very much products of their time.
Oh, sure. Absolutely.
I also think the success of those films doomed the rest of the DC extended universe.
You think it did?
Absolutely. Because those three films, the Nolan Batman trilogy, the way that those films were shot, Zack Snyder looked at that and said, okay, well, that made Warner Brothers $1 billion fucking dollars. So all of the movies have to look like this now.
Yeah. No, that's right. Well, it really feels that way when you watch Man of Steel.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wasn't Nolan a producer or executive producer of Man of Steel?
He was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Legit. Like, the success of the Nolan trilogy has doomed the DCEU up until now.
I can see that. I can see that argument. And I think it's just because it's a fundamental misunderstanding of that character, right? Like, yes, Batman is dark and brooding, and that needs to be dark and brooding. Or he can be, right? I mean, they're never going to make a modern Batman movie where he's like, hey, I'm Adam West. Like, that would be ridiculous. I'd like to see it once.
No, I mean, like, my favorite Batmans are Adam West Batman and, like, animated series Batman. And I would say animated series Batman is, like, a good balance of dark and brooding and still empathetic and, you know, multi-layered and whatnot. He's not just like, well, I'm Batman. Like,
Affleck was just a fucking monster in a suit. Yeah. He just was.
And like, that can be who Batman is, but I don't think that should be who Batman is. Yeah. Like,
I agree with that.
Batman is at his best when you have the ability to have him be the world's greatest detective. When you have him be that on top of being the Dark Knight and whatnot.
See, that's why I think Matt Reeves is going to fucking nail that movie. Yeah. I think he is. Because I'm looking at his work on the Planet of the Apes movies where I gave a fuck about the life of a goddamn monkey. Like, I cared when Caesar, spoiler alert, when Caesar died. I gave a shit. Yeah. Because they made that more than just a Planet of the Apes war versus man movie. Those movies were so centered on on character.
Right.
You were just like, Jesus Christ, there's so much character depth of this fucking talking ape. And he only said 9 words until the last movie. So it's
that's what
crazy.
I think that, like, the DCEU has lacked up until recently, is any meaningful character depth.
Yeah, that's true. Wonder Woman has the best.
Yeah,
I would argue.
and like even still, like on a repeat watch of the first Wonder Woman, which I still love a lot, but like, and I hate to do the comparison, but it's like you compare Wonder Woman in that movie, who's basically a little lamb who needs a big strong man to hold her hand into World War One, and then like she comes into herself and she's like, I'm gonna kick wholesale ass. Like, cool. And it's like you compare that to fucking Captain Marvel, and Captain Marvel was fully realized, and she was like, no, I'm the smartest person in the room. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Yeah, no, that's there's a vast difference in their origin stories.
Right. Too. But like, I feel like we didn't get the sort of like character depth on Wonder Woman.
See, I
right
felt
off the bat.
We didn't, but I would say they dug into her a little bit more. Like, especially scenes where, like when they were on the boat leaving Themyscira.
That was the
like
best scene in the movie, because she was just like, oh, we don't need men.
I don't need no man to get off.
I'm on an island with 250 other hot babes. You think I need a dick? No.
Like they work out and just have hot abs all day. They're fine. They don't need you. But no, but I thought those were moments of like her, like them digging into her as a person.
Moments in those movies.
And I think those were the better parts.
But it's like you didn't get that in really any of the other movies until you got to like Aquaman, and like even though
it was a little, it went below the surface a little bit, like, but not much, right? So like that is. Like you can make arguments that the MCU movies are goofier in some ways than they're not. But guess what? Ant-Man has more character depth than I would argue almost anybody in the DCEU does. He does. He's got his daughter. You understand why he fucks up, why he's trying to be a better person and all this other stuff. Iron Man is super in depth. Cap is super in depth in who those people are as characters. And they've been around a long time, but they dug into those characters from the jump.
Right. They weren't wasting any time with it.
Right. So I do think look, if I could give any advice to the WB people, I know they're listening. Don't trash the DCEU. Just work from what you have now, which is now working. You got Wonder Woman, Aquaman, now Shazam. That's 3. That's 3 that you nail. And you're getting ready to have Suicide Squad, the sequel. Or actually, that's a reboot, by the way.
Sequel?
No, they're now saying that that's a reboot of the Suicide Squad. With James Gunn doing it. That's a 4th. That's a 4th fucking win. If Matt Reeves gives you a 5 for Batman, and if this Joker movie, which is not really in the DCU or whatever, or maybe it is, who knows, that's 6. That's 6 in a row. That's 6 in a row. Okay, now we are moving in the right direction. So don't trash the DCU. Figure out what you want to do and coalesce this shit. Because I'm telling you, you get a successful Batman movie, people are going to want those characters together. They're going to want them together. So get it together. And bring back Superman. Stop being stupid. It's dumb. Oh, we're going to bring Supergirl. Supergirl is not Superman.
No.
Look,
Henry Cavill is a good Superman.
He is, and you're going to waste him. And that's dumb.
And that's unfortunate, because he's very good to look at.
All right, calm down. He's a handsome guy. I will never forget having to nudge my wife and be like, relax.
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
He came out of the water, out of the fucking episode of Deadliest Catch with no shirt on. Fuck you, dude. Out of here.
Oh, I want to see The Man from U.N.C.L.E. What do you know about The Man from U.N.C.L.E.? Superman's in it. Oh, okay. Yeah. That's what you know about it. All right.
You're watching the Nerdpocalypse YouTube channel. Make sure you click that button to subscribe and check out our weekly podcast where we talk about movie, TV, news, tech, and weird stories from around the internet.